Lizards can either be fun to watch in small populations around the backyard, but once we start seeing those populations explode, it all of a sudden becomes a tolerance level. All of a sudden you don't want to see them, and you definitely don't want to see them sneaking into the door and coming into the house. So yeah, we got to figure out how do we keep those populations at a good level. So one, small populations of lizards is great because they do feed on other insects. And so they're kind of controlling. They're working with ABC in that standpoint, that they're bringing those populations of other insects down to a tolerable level. But once they start getting too big in population, things you can do. So number one, what you really could do is good general pest control procedures or treatments around the backyard. So you're treating around the shrubs, the ivy beds, in the grass itself. The idea is to control those food sources that they're looking for. So if you control the food sources and you do a good job dropping populations by controlling those other insects, then they won't have the opportunity to get to certain populations level because the food source just can't justify it. And then once they start coming inside the house, I know that's a problem, and I get that completely. You should hear my wife. I mean, if a lizard's in the house, she's going to go crazy about it. So what you could do is trap. I really do like using a glue board. They get into it, and you can pick it up and throw it away once they get into it. So some trapping around the inside of the house and maybe little areas in the outside until you get the populations down to where it's tolerable again is a good way to get it. There's not a good repellent that's out there. There's a product called Snake Away, and it works good with snakes, but it only keeps them from wanting to harbor in, let's say, ivy beds. And so once you treat that area with Snake Away, a lizard would go into there. They don't like it because the smell is just beyond their tolerance, and they'll go somewhere else and maybe not be as close to the areas that, your patio or porches that you might be sitting. So tough animal to control, lizards are. Some of it we just got to say, hey, that's our environment that we live in. But I agree with you. When populations get too high, we want to get better control, at least reduce those populations as much as possible. So good pest control, some trapping when population goes a little bit too far, and really a good focus on the inside if you want to do any trapping there.